Welcome to Fabulosity For You, and my name is Angie. If this is your first time visiting my channel, please click the subscribe button, then click the notification bell, so when I upload videos, you'll be the first to know. Like this video and make a comment. This channel is about fashion, beauty, and lifestyle. And this is not your first time visiting my channel? Well, welcome back to my queens, and welcome to the kings out there. Today is Ratchet Wednesday. And today I will be doing the review of 90 Day Last Resort, Season 1, Episode 3, One Last Time. But before we begin, I just want to say this. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. If this is your first time on my channel on a Wednesday, welcome. And on this channel, I am giving away for every 100 subscriber a gift, a giveaway. I'm doing a giveaway until I get to 1,000. The last I checked, I think we were like 761 or something like that. So we're almost at 800. And at 800, when I get 800 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway for everybody that is subscribed to my channel. And if you want to participate, you can do so. So if you have not signed up for my channel, if you have not subscribed, please do so that you can be a part of this family I have going on here. We're about good vibes and all of the things. And so I am about to get this party started, okay? So if you have not watched The Last Resort, you need to get into it because it is so good and the stories are juicy. And if you have not looked at episode 1 and 2, please do so. And then watch this episode, which is episode 3. So we're going to get right into it. Before I do, I just want to also say, I like to throw shade on some of these couples, and so I like to wear sunglasses. So when you see me doing all like this and that, you know Angie about to go in. Also, I have relationship topics every Friday. Sometimes I have a Dear Angie for those that write in, or if somebody has a specific topic they want me to talk about, they will write in and tell me and I'll do so. Or I just give advice, relationship advice every Friday. And so with that being said, I like to break down, unpack the couples and their relationships. So when I'm doing a review, I also unpack and give my opinions about what I think about the couples. Okay, so let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. Let's get this party started. Okay, so the 90 Day Last Resort comes on every Monday on TLC. If you see me looking down, yes, I'm reading my notes. So last week, the episode 2 ended where Ed, Liz, Molly, Kelly, and Angela was in the hot tub. Now, I'm going to say this. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know why I was calling Liz Sarah, because nobody on the show is named Sarah. So Ed's wife is named Liz, not Sarah. Okay, so they were all in the hot tub last week, and they were arguing because Liz asked Kelly, "How are you and Molly doing?" Before she can answer, Ed chimes in and says, before she can even answer, "I hope you guys make it. I hope everything is going okay." And he did that twice to Liz. So Kelly was like, "Listen, I'm going to have to tell you, nobody can say a word to you because you always interrupt. Quit interrupting people." And he was like, "I don't interrupt." And he said, "Yes, you do. And for you to have cheated on the obstacle couples game was just, it didn't make no sense. Cheating. Okay, so if you're going to come at me, I'm going to come back harder at you." And so it ended with them arguing, and it ended with Angela saying Listen, Kelly, don't get all upset. That's just how Ed is. He's the type of person that don't know how to express himself. And Ed was like, bump all Kelly was like, bump all that. He not finna talk crazy to me. The episode ends. So, episode 3, they're all still in the jacuzzi. And Ed was like, if you come at me, I'm going to come at you. And he said, I wasn't coming at you. And then Ed was like, yes, you did, bitch. When I say it got quiet in that hot tub, you can hear a rat licking some ice. It was quiet. Molly was shaking. Molly was like, no, you're not going to talk to him like that. You're not going to disrespect him. Kelly was like, you know what? I didn't come here for all of this. I didn't come here for Ed. I came here for my lady and to work it out. I'm going to get up out of this jacuzzi before I do something I don't need to do. And Angela was like, Kelly, don't go. Don't go. And he said, no, I'm out of here. So as he's getting out, Ed was like, I'm sorry for calling you a bitch, but I meant it the first time. And so Angela was so mad, she started hitting the water, and she said, shut your mouth, Ed, shut your mouth. While she was hitting the water jumped all over Liz. And Liz was like hot. She was like, oh my God. She asked Kelly as he was walking back, can you hand me a towel? He was like, no, ask your man. And Ed was like, that is so rude. Angela was like, it's not rude because you just called this. He tried to talk to you like a man to man, and you call him a bitch. So Molly and Kelly started walking back to the room, and Molly was like, I can't believe he did that to you, because all you have to do is basically pick up your foot and stomp him because he's so little, you know. And so Kelly was like, listen, I'm a Brooklyn cop. I was a Brooklyn cop. I don't play that. I know I will hurt him, so I'm just going to try to walk away and leave it alone. But if he keep on disrespecting me, I'm going to give him what he's looking for. Honey, they both was mad at Ed. But as they was walking, Kelly, you know, he was like feeling good that Molly took up for him, and he felt like they was back on the same team, working together. And they was, you know, making fun of Ed. And he was like, you know what, Molly, even though we have our problems, you know I got your back, and you know I would never let anybody disrespect you. And she was all frowned up. Her nose is like, I don't believe that. So he was like, what are you talking about? I don't believe that. I don't believe it because you don't do anything. You don't do anything. You act like you're a bachelor. And he was like, I know you hate for me to say this, but I left New York. I left my city to come be with you. And she was like, listen, just because you moved with me don't mean you all in. You don't do anything around the house. All you do is sit around the house. You acting like you a bachelor. You don't stand with me. When I first met you was doing things. I mean, when I say he was crushed, honey, he was crushed like orange crushed the pop. He was crushed, baby. He was like, why am I here? Why am I here? Now, what I'm going to say about them two. Now, I do understand Molly. Because, as I said in one of my videos, if you a man and, you know, she met you and you was a police officer and you had it going on and you could take her out to dinner, you could maybe pay a couple bills, and you move to the city, her town, and you don't have a job, you're not trying to look for a job, you can't pay for nothing, you sitting on her couch. Now, Molly got money. So all he had to do was just step up and be a man and be there for her. You know, say, baby, come on, what you need me to do with your business? I can be a manager. I could do this, you know. I could do that, you know. At least clean the house cook, do something. But she said all this man do is sit on the couch and play video games. So she looking at him through ugly lenses. Because he not doing nothing. And don't nobody want no man that don't do nothing. I don't care how good your sex is. I don't care how what you got going on, how you look. You ugly if you can't pay the bills and you can't do nothing. Because she even said, I asked him if he could help me at the job, and he was like, no, I'm not going to do that. So I understand where Molly's coming from. But then again, I have to say this. Molly and Angela tried to tell her that last week. You're here at the resort to work things out. So you have to put that in the past and start working on the future. So every time this man try to, talk with you and say, he want to be with you and it's there, then you can't knock him down. Because if you keep knocking him down, baby, then you're not going to have no mans. And if you watch 90 Day Fiance, she had way more problems with men. Every man she got, it did not work out. So she needs to try to, at least since she's there, try to work it out. He doesn't seem like he's that bad. Maybe he just needs this counseling and a push. But with that bad attitude, that man gonna walk away. That man is going to leave. And if he leaves and you're happy with that, that's fine. But then why are you at the resort? So I don't like how Molly is kicking him every chance she gets when he's trying to communicate with her and trying to work things out. So he walks away. Excuse me. So we're going to go back to the hot tub with Angela, Ed, and Liz. So Angela was talking to Ed, and she was like, Ed, you was dead wrong. If you knew that, if you admitted that you cheated in the game, a couple's game, and he said it, then what are you upset about? So Liz was like, Angela, that's why, and Angela was talking over her. And so she was like, Angela, she was like, I don't understand. And she was like, Angela, I'm trying to speak. And so she was like, well, speak. And she said, that's what I was trying to say. You saying I didn't take up for my man, but if my man is wrong, why should I take up for him? And every time I try to talk, it's like you are over talking me. Angela was like, she was drunk in that hot tub. They was all drinking now. She was like, oh no, bitch. What you say to me? You're not going to talk to me like that, bitch. And she was like, what are you talking about? She said, you're not going to talk about that, bitch. I'm trying to sit up and take up for your man what you need to be doing. Talking about I overtalked you. I didn't overtalk you. You didn't say shit. So Liz got her little behind up out of that hot tub, right? And she was leaving. Angela was like, you gone? She said, well, you threw water all over my face. So yes, she said, threw water. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to throw the water at you. I was trying to hit Ed. And she said, but for you to even say like I did that on purpose, bitch, she jumped out the hot tub. Bitch, all in her face. Bitch, let me tell you something, bitch. You don't do this. I don't desire that. I did what you should have done. You don't take up for your man. She was bump, 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 bump. I wasn't talking shit to you. Molly was the one talking. You run your brave behind. You so brave now. Go run to Molly and see what she say to you, bitch. She was like bitching her down. So she got so close in her face. Ed was like trying to, touch her shoulders and tell her, to calm down. And the producers had the cameraman, the crew had to come get Angela. And so when they did that, Ed was like, honey, this is our chance to go on get in this house where you get your ass beat. And so they hurried up, got in the house. So as soon as they got in the house, Ed was like, she was like, did you see what she did? She sits up and calls me out my name and holler in my face. I didn't deserve that. He said, well, now let me tell you something. She chewed your ass up. She chewed your ass up. You deserve that ass chew. your ass being chewed because you should have stood up for me. She stood up for me. I never have anybody to stand up for me. And so she was like, looking all hurt. I can't believe that that's what you're saying. You saying I deserve that? He said, you deserve all of that. You needed to get your ass handed on a platter. She chewed your ass. And he was kind of like, she chewed your ass. And you can't blame me because I didn't have nothing to do with that. You did all that yourself. You deserve that. And so she was like, I can't believe you talking to me like that, Ed. She was like, Ed, you guys, it's like the Ed and Angela show. I can't get not one word in. Why would I try to defend you when you was wrong? You admitted that you cheated, and that's all he was saying, that you cheated. So, So he's like, no, you're wrong. You don't never stand up for me. Nobody never stands up to me. She was like, I'm out of here. And she grabbed some sheets and she went in. I guess she stepped on the couch. So the next day, he wakes up and he goes in there and he was like, what happened last night? And it was like the room was tore up from the floor up. I don't know whether they tussling in or tossing, but it was stuff all over the room. He was like, oh my God, look at this room. She was like, it's both our things. He said, what happened? She said, what happened? What happened is, let's just start back how you got in the hot tub and took your pants off and showed all your junk to Angela. No, I'm not talking about that. We're talking about you didn't stand up for me. Angela stood up for me. He was back on that same stuff. And she was like, you don't never listen to me. You never listen to me. And she runs out. And she runs outside. And she's just, she calls her mother. She said, Mom, Ed never listens to me, Mom. Ed never listens to me. She said, well, honey, why don't you give him the cold shoulder? I mean, he think he all of this and that. He ain't nothing. Go give him the cold shoulder. Stop crying. Go in there and stand up to Ed. Thank you, Mom. Thank you. So, honey, she marches in that house like she was a bad mamma jamma. She walks in there and she was like, Ed, we need to talk. And he had just got finished eating his breakfast. He was like, okay. And you're going to listen to me. He was like, okay. Well, I'm surprised you're saying okay. I'm going to tell you this. I didn't stand up for you because you were wrong. And it was wrong that you didn't take up for me with Angela. Angela was wrong for calling me out my name and doing all of that. And you allowed it. I'm not going to stand for it. And he was like, okay, I got it. And she was like surprised. Her own self. He's listening. He got it. Yeah. And so if you're going to act like this, then I'm not going to do any of the activities today. I will stay in the room and I will not be bothered. And he was like, I got it. I got it. You're right. And so she was like to herself, then she did in the confessional, Ed better get it together because what Ed don't know is I might not move in that house. What Ed don't know is he on his last leg. This is his last time. This is his last chance. He better get it together. So that ended it with Ed and Liz. So we're going to jump on over to Angela. So Angela wakes up the next morning and she's like, last night was just a hard night. She was talking to Michael, her husband. Last night was just a hard night, Michael. Michael, I wish you were here. Michael, I need you, Michael. Michael, I'll talk to you later, Michael. I love you, Michael. She got a knock on the door. She put on her robe. She was like, it was one of the therapists. She was like, I wonder what she wants. Because if she gonna come at me, I'm gonna come right back at her even stronger. She was like, yes, what's going on? And she was like, oh, I just came checking on you. I heard there was a situation last night and you were involved. How are you feeling this morning? And she was like, who ratted on me? She said, Angela, I live on the resort and I heard all the ruckus and what was going on. And I came today because I'm trying to figure out, you have this great armor of protection and anger. It has gotten you a lot of places. But what's very wonderful, a gift that you have, is also not a gift. So I'm trying to figure out, Angela, what makes you so angry? What happened between you and Liz that made you so angry? And she was like, well, first of all, I worked at the jail, and you got to have this tough skin. And she just reminded me of Michael acting like she all innocent and like I'm the bad person. I'm sick and tired of people looking at me like I'm the bad person. So she said, so Angela, so you're saying to me that Liz was a trigger. She reminded you of Michael. And Angela was like, yes. And so what we need to do, Angela, is work on your anger. You don't have to be angry all the time. You don't have to explode all the time. So can we, while you're here, work on your anger? And she was like, well, if that's going to make you happy. And then in the confessional, she said, maybe the therapist has a point. Maybe I should be talking better to people and learn how to control my anger. Just maybe I need some improvement. I wanted to laugh so bad. Girl, you crazy. You definitely need some improvements. You do. So, that's how that ended with Angela. So, we're going to go to Asuela and his wife, Kalina. So, they're sitting on the porch of their room, and Kalina asked Asuela, how did you think the session went? Yes, how did you think the session went? And so he was like, I think it went well. I'm so glad that you decided to block the guy that you slept with, because then it showed me that you are really trying to work through our problems. And she was just smiling. And she was like, okay. Well, since you promised, she was smiling her behind off. Since you promised that you are not going to cheat, and you really show me your feelings, that you really want to work it out, how about we block the guy together? And he was like, I'll be so good, thankful, and grateful. So she pulled out her phone, and she said, would you like to push the button? And he blocked the guy. And she said, now this shows that I'm all in, that I'm going to try to work things out. So he said, could I please have a hug? And so they ended on a hug. So the next morning, Kalina's sister, Colina, I guess it's Kalina and Colina, and they both really beautiful women. I think they're so cute. Colina shows up because she's came down to babysit the children. And Kalina says she was so happy to see her sister. Asuela had the children while Kalina and Colina was out having a cocktail. And Kalina was telling her sister, catching her up on what had been happening. And she said, I'm so glad to have my sister here because I have somebody I can just talk to and somebody who's going to always be on my side. So she said, girl, let me tell you what happened. Honey, at the meeting, at our group therapy session, Asuela was crying. He was saying, I want to work it out. He was testifying, saying, I love my wife. I want to keep my wife. Yes, I want to work on my marriage. Hallelujah. I'm not going to never cheat on her no more. I mean, she was like, girl, he was breaking it down. And so they was just laughing and smiling. She said, and so I just feel like, I should block the guy because if I'm here, I might as well try to work it out with my husband. So Colina, her sister, was like, I agree, girl, you here, and you want to give it all you got. And in order to do that, you can't be having another man on your mind. And so Colina was like, I'm going to have to tell you this. Girl, I'm so glad I took that pass. Because now I see that it's more out here. So I'm going to give him one last chance. And this time, I'm not accepting no half-stepping. I'm not taking no half-step from him. He going to love me like he's supposed to, or I'm going to leave him. And so his wife was like, exactly. He got to, in front of the kids, act like he love you and treat you right. She said, and in confessional, Colina, her sister, said, I'm not mad at my sister taking the pass because he gave it to her. So, with that being said, personally, I don't believe in passes. But in this case, so far, now, I personally think along the road, that pass is not going to be in her favor, Kalina's favor, because a man going to always go back to, you slept with another man. Even though they ain't no good, they don't want their wives to be out there like that. So I think she going to have some trust problems with him. But for right now, Kalina's smiling. She was like, I'm glad I took that pass because now I see how I'm supposed to be treated and loved. And so that's how that ended. So we're going to go over to Javi and Yara. So after last week, after they had the couples therapy session, Yara exposed her secret to the whole group, saying that she's on birth control pills when Javi wants a baby, and she started taking birth control pills without talking to Jovi. So Jovi was like livid. So in order to calm him down, Yara decided to make him dinner outside by the water. She had champagne and she had her food. And so she's sitting there and she said, Jovi, I'm sorry, I made the dinner to make up. And he was like, on it, make up? How you gonna make up embarrassing me in front of a group of people? How are you gonna make up to me with that? You went behind my back. And not only that, I have said to you many a times, you can talk to me. She said, but Jovi, you kept telling me you want a baby, and I was honest. I said, I didn't want a baby, Jovi. I said that. We're not ready. We're not in that place, Jovi. And so he was like, look, you sitting there running around telling these half-truths. You got me feeling a certain way because you lied, went behind my back and talking about you want to live in Europe. Then you go behind my back saying you want to get a condo in Europe. And then now this. That's 3 things. You know what? You telling me I'm the control person? That I control you? No, you're trying to control me. You're trying to control where we live. You're trying to control where, when we're going to have a baby. You are the liar, and you're the one that's trying to control me. He said, listen, I can't deal with you and your lies. I'm out. So he grabbed his bottle of champagne and glass, and he went on. And she came behind him. She said, Jovi, are you coming to bedroom? He said, no. Now, what I would say about Jovi and Yari, first of all, he got her together. He got her all the way together. Because, excuse me, I really do believe she's a manipulator as well. I didn't like it if you watch 90 Day Fiancé when she went to Europe and she saw her mother and they talking in a foreign language that he didn't understand. And her mother was saying, you don't have to tell him what you want to do. Just do it and get us an apartment. I didn't like how they was talking. It was real secretive type of stuff. And that rubbed me the wrong way. Now, I did feel like Jovi, when he works, he's gone for weeks at a time. And so she is along with the baby. And so, yes, I think that if she want to go get an apartment, a condo, and she going to pay for it, it's nothing wrong with that. But what he really believes is she's not going to want to come back to the United States. And I believe that to be true, too. I really believe she married him for the green card, but I don't know. It seems that way to me. Because she's just, first of all, they're just really different. She likes to be a homebody. He's a partier. She's sophisticated. He's like the college boy. He's also a cheater. So why was she's a beautiful woman. Javi is not so cute. I don't know about them two, but he did put her in her place. I'm going to tell you that. And he should have. Because she's always pointing the finger at him. Even though he does do some jacked up stuff. But so does she. She has done things too. So what happens is Jovi was left sitting at the table by the room. The next morning, Yari wakes up and she comes into the room and she says, Jovi, it's not right that you went with Angela drinking all night, Javi. Javi, is Angela now your best friend? You rather spend time drinking with her than spend time with me? I'm your wife, Javi? Javi, you only did that because you were angry at me. Is that how we resolve things, Javi? Javi, that's why we here. We need help. You are wrong. And he was like nonchalant, looking at his phone and looking at her like, girl, go somewhere. And finally he said, listen, you got what you got what you gave. You sat up in front of everybody and told out my business. I was clueless. Javi, what are you talking about, Javi? It's okay to express in front of others. He said, listen, you should have ran that by me. I don't care if Molly and Kelly or Asuela and his Kalina tell their business. I don't get down like that. You should be running stuff by me before you just bust up telling my business in front of everybody. He said, you was wrong. And she was like, Javi, you guys woke me up at 2 a.m. asking me to drink. You woke me up out of my sleep. Angela went and got a boombox, Javi, and set it right in front of the door and blast her boombox when we are at a hotel, Javi. Who does that? It's so disrespectful, Javi. It's just so disrespectful. You had this woman in my bed. You had her come in this bed and wake me up, Javi. I'm so hurt, Javi. Honey, she cried and she cried and she cried. Then she ran her tail in the bathroom. Now, I'm just going to say this. You know doggone well that was ghetto. She going to bring the big old boom box, sitting right in front of somebody's door when they trying to sleep at 2 a.m. Just, shaking her little butt, dancing and screaming and talking. They drunk. That was ghetto. And that's the difference between Javi and Yara. Yara ain't ghetto like that. Yara is not down like that. Yara is like disgusted by that behavior. So in the confession, Javi was like, well, maybe I shouldn't have did all that. Maybe I shouldn't have drank with Angela. She got a point. So he's sitting there in the bed looking at his phone. Then he got up and ran to the door and said, I'm sorry. And so it just ended like that. And so that ends the 90-day last resort. Honey, they was cutting up and clowning. I can't wait till next week to see what's going to happen next. So stay tuned for episode 4 next week. I hope you enjoyed my review and thank you for watching my channel.
1, 2,